Welcome to CBSE English Teacher. Let's look at the line by line explanation of the lesson Lost Spring Stories of Stolen Childhood from Class 12 English. Let's move on to the video now. Story 2. I want to drive a car. Mukesh insists on being his own master. I will be a motor mechanic, he announces. Do you know anything about cars? I ask. I will learn to drive a car, he answers, looking straight into my eyes. His dream looms like a mirage amidst the dust of streets that fill his town Firozabad, famous for its bangles. Every other family in Firozabad is engaged in making bangles. It is the center of India's glass blowing industry, where families have spent generations working around furnaces, welding glass, making bangles for all the women in the land, it seems. Looking straight into my eyes means with confidence and determination. Looms like a mirage means seems that it will be true in the future, but actually it will not be so. Amidst means in the middle of. Glass blowing industry means industry related to making glass. Furnaces means a closed room or container where heat is produced. Welding means the process of joining metal or glass pieces by heating them. The writer met a boy named Mukesh who aspired to become a motor mechanic. She asked him if he knew anything about cars. The boy was confident and replied that he would learn to drive a car. His dream was far away from reality, and although the boy was confident, he would surrender to the societal pressures. He lived in Firozabad, which was famous for glass bangles. The writer felt that the boy's dreams would not materialize and gradually get influenced by the dusty streets of Firozabad. She wanted to say that as every family in the town of Firozabad was involved in the glass bangle industry, so would Mukesh do with the passage of time. She tells us that Firozabad was the main town of India for the glass blowing industry. The families had been involved in working at furnaces, welding glass, and making bangles for generations. They made so many bangles that it seemed that they made bangles for all the women of the world. Mukesh's family is among them. None of them know that it is illegal for children like him to work in the glass furnaces with high temperatures in dingy cells without air and light, that the law, if enforced, could get him and all those 20,000 children out of the hot furnaces where they slog their daylight hours, often losing the brightness of their eyes. Dingy means dark or dim. Slog means work hard. Daylight hours means hours of the day when there is sunlight. And brightness of their eyes here refers to the power to see. Mukesh's family was also involved in the profession of glass bangle making. They were not aware of the law. They did not know that it was unlawful to force children to work in such glass furnaces. The workplaces were hot, dark, and closed rooms without ventilation. The writer felt that if the law would come into force, it would rescue almost 20,000 children from these inhuman places where they were forced to work hard during the daytime. They often ended up losing their eyesight also. Mukesh's eyes beam as he volunteers to take me home, which he proudly says is being rebuilt. We walk down stinking lanes choked with garbage, past homes that remain hovels, with crumbling walls, wobbly doors, no windows, crowded with families of humans and animals coexisting in a primeval state. He stops at the door of one such house, bangs a wobbly iron door with his foot, and pushes it open. Beam means shine brightly. Volunteers means freely offers to do something. Stinking means bad smell. Chalked means blocked. Hovels means slums. Crumbling means falling down. Wobbly means unsteady. Coexisting means present at the same time and place. Primeval means prehistoric. Bangs means hits. Mukesh was happy as he took the writer to his home. He felt proud as he informed her that it was being renovated. They walked down streets which were full of garbage and gave foul smell. The streets were lined with slums which were unsteady. The walls were falling apart, the doors were unsteady, there were no windows and were full of families where people lived along with animals. They remained the writer of the prehistoric man who lived just like animals. Mukesh stopped in front of one such door, hit it hard with his foot and pushed it open. We enter a half-built shack. In one part of it, thatched with dead grass, is a firewood stove over which sits a large vessel of sizzling spinach leaves. On the ground, in large aluminium platters, are more chopped vegetables. A frail young woman is cooking the evening meal for the whole family. Through eyes filled with smoke, she smiles. She is the wife of Mukesh's elder brother. Not much older in years, she has begun to command respect as the Bahu, the daughter-in-law of the house. Already in charge of 3 men, her husband, Mukesh and their father. Shack means a roughly built hut. Thatched means covered with dry grass. Vessel means container for cooking food. Sizzling means make a hissing sound when frying or cooking. Platters means large plates. Chopped means cut finely. Frail means thin or weak. Eyes filled with smoke means her eyes are filled with the smoke coming out of the fire stove. And command respect means she is worthy and so is respected. The house where Mukesh lived was partially constructed hut. In one corner was a firewood stove made with dead grass. A vessel with spinach leaves was kept on it. On the ground there were more plates with chopped vegetables in them. There was a thin young woman cooking the evening meal for the family. Her eyes were full of the smoke emanating from the stove, but she was still cheerful and smiled to see the writer. She was the wife of Mukesh's elder brother. Although she was not much older than Mukesh, she was a responsible person and was worthy to get respect from the family as the daughter-in-law of the family. She took care of the 3 men, her husband, Mukesh and their father. When the older man enters, she gently withdraws behind the broken wall and brings her veil closer to her face. As custom demands, daughters-in-law must veil their faces before male elders. In this case, the elder is an impoverished Bengal maker. Despite long years of hard labor, first as a tailor, then a Bengal maker, he has failed to renovate a house, send his 2 sons to school. All he has managed to do is teach them what he knows, the art of making bangles. Withdraws means goes back. Veil means a piece of fine material worn by women to protect or hide the face, or cover or hide. Impoverished means very poor. Labor means hard work, and renovate means repair. As Mukesh's father enters the house, the daughter-in-law hid behind the wall and covered her face behind her veil. It was a tradition for the daughter-in-laws to hide their face in the presence of the older male members of the family. The elder here was a poor bangle maker. He had worked hard all his life, first as a tailor, then as a bangle maker. He was still not able to either renovate the house or send his sons to school. He had just managed to teach him the skills of making bangles. It is his karam, his destiny, says Mukesh's grandmother, who has watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polishing the glass of bangles. Can a God-given lineage ever be broken? She implies. Destiny means fate, and God-given lineage here a profession carried on through the generations of a glass bangle making family. Mukesh's grandmother justified her son by saying that he was destined to make bangles as it had been their family profession. She had seen her husband become blind due to the dust from polishing the glass bangles. She said that their family had got this art of bangle making from God, and so they had to carry on the tradition. Born in the caste of bangle makers, they have seen nothing but bangles in the house, in the yard, in every other house, every other yard, every street in Firozabad. Spirals of bangles, sunny gold, paddy green, royal blue, pink, purple, every color born out of the 7 colors of the rainbow lie in mounds in unkempt yards, are piled on 4-wheeled handcarts pushed by young men along the narrow lanes of the shanty town. Yard means the open area at the back of the house. Mounds means heaps. Unkempt means not taken care of. Piled means kept one on top of the other. And shanty town means a town that is full of small, roughly built huts. They were born in a particular caste which had to follow the profession of bangle making. All their life they had just seen these glass bangles. They were everywhere, in the backyard, in the next house, in their yard, and even in the streets of the town. There were huge spiral bunches of bangles in different colors like gold, green, blue, pink, and purple. There were bangles of all the colors of the rainbow. Further, the writer says that there were bangles in the neglected yards also. They were dumped on the handcarts for sale. They were pushed by men along the streets of Firozabad.